Hello everyone and welcome back to Come On Admit It. I'm your host, Dominique. And since it's been a while since I've posted, there's been a lot of topics that I want to talk about and I just want to get them out there. And I felt since it's February, Valentine's Day just passed, relationships would be a great topic to talk about. And I can't do that alone, so I have my pretty much co-host, Nicoya, here with me.
Her single co-host. And this actually is one of my favorite topics to talk about, so I'm pretty excited, not gonna lie.
Yeah, this could run
Forever.
Maybe a couple episodes. We'll see. Who knows? So, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe we'll even turn it into, like, a relationship advice kind of thing. Like, you guys could submit some questions. Like...
Right. Come On Admit It podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Submit questions, topic ideas, your opinions. We can read them next episode. You never know.
February. Valentine's Day just passed. Honestly, here's my genuine review of Valentine's Day. First of all,
delete the holiday.
I really thought, like, going into it, I was like, I'm going to be so bitter on this day, especially if I'm on Instagram, seeing all these lovey-dovey posts, whatever. Like, I don't care that you're in love, because I'm not. But honestly, like, I didn't feel that bad. I mean, thankfully, I wasn't alone on Valentine's Day. I was hanging out with one of my friends who's also single. But, like, seeing the post, like, actually kind of, like, made me happy. I was like, oh, like, this is so cute. Like, you know, people are really, like, out here, like, loving each other. Like, I want that for me one day. No, but seriously, it wasn't that bad. And as tempted as I was, I did not post any, like, anti-Valentine posts in my story, even though, you know, I saw some gems on my, Explore page. I liked them though, but I didn't post them. So I'm proud of myself because I feel like last year on Valentine's Day, last year I was in a relationship, but he was away at school, so like I still spent Valentine's Day like with a friend.
Oh, I said alone. Oh my god.
I actually want to like get into that a little bit, but we don't have to do that now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
how was your Valentine's Day in this relationship?
I'm in a relationship, but I still think Valentine's Day is stupid. I think the holiday should be deleted. It's a day that women just expect the world from their man, and usually if you've been in a relationship, I feel like you should be getting that anyway. Like, why do I get flowers and chocolate on Valentine's Day when like you could pop up with flowers and chocolate at any time? It just sets unrealistic expectations, and I feel like it's become more of a competition day than anything else because
between the men,
right? Between the men and the women, to be honest, because the men are like, oh, I did this for my girl, I have this much money, I got her a Gucci ring, blah blah blah, and then the women post on social media and they're like, my man got me this, he did this for me,
and it's like everyone cares so much.
Just like, I was just like, wow, like you're in a relationship, good for you, clap clap.
Yeah.
I just think the holiday should be deleted.
That's also another fun thing about Valentine's Day. A lot of, like, secret closet relationships, like, that's been going on apparently all year or something.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden, like, pop up on your feed and you're just like, oh, wow, I didn't know you were dating someone. And it's even crazier when they were just in your DMs, but we're not gonna get into that.
I haven't been single in a while. I don't know that lifestyle anymore.
I wish I didn't know that. Okay, I'm like being dramatic because like I literally just got out of a relationship. I mean, it's been almost a year of me being single now. But like so Valentine's Day last year, this is the story that I want to tell. Like I said, the guy that I was dating, he was away in college, so we were not together. And because like played basketball, he did not have like a lot of freedom to like come and go from school, so he was there, he had a game that weekend, whatever. So I went out to dinner with my friend who was also single at the time, and she had just got out of a relationship. It was actually like a 5-year long relationship, something like that, something crazy, something I don't know nothing about. We were on 2 different pages apparently, because I thought the plan was we're going to go to dinner and have a wine night / sleepover after. And then, like, we're at dinner, and she's like, oh, so-and-so just texted me asking what time I'm going to meet him at the bar. And I was like, huh? Like, you're going to the bar after this? I was so confused. I was like, wait, I thought I was coming over. And then she was like, oh my God, wait, I feel so bad, blah, blah. And she was like, no, just come with us. And I was like, wait, so, like, you want me to third wheel on Valentine's Day? And she's like, it's not like he's my boyfriend or anything. She's like, there's just this guy that I've been, like, talking with, that I met on Hinge. And I was like, okay, fine, but, like, if I hate it, I'm Ubering home, and, like, that's it. So we go, we, like, meet up with this guy. He seemed cool from, like, first impression, whatever. And we get to drinking, and your girl got wasted. Like, oh my God. I was taking shots, tequila shots. And,
yeah, your favorite.
And drinking Long Islands like they were juice. Like, I literally had at least 4 to 5 Long Islands that night.
Sounds like me at headlining.
It was a recipe for disaster. I came home, my mom was like, you reek. And I couldn't even respond because I was so drunk. Like, I just crashed into my bed, and then I woke up the next morning with a horrible hangover. No surprise there. But yeah, I had a good time. It was fun.
So the moral of the story, be single
and have a good time.
But anyway, you brought up Hinge, which just gave me war. Oh my God, did you guys hear my struggle? Gave me war flashbacks to dating apps, but not really that worry flashy backy, because I met my boyfriend on a dating app. So aww. Yeah, whatever. I feel like dating apps are like gold mines. There's like gonna be 95%
disgusting,
like coal and terribleness, and then there's like 5% of the gold that you'll find, and even 4% of that gold is fake gold. It's not even real. So
how long were you on these dating apps before you met your boyfriend and like deleted the app and all that good stuff?
Like a few months, because I just turned 18. Mm-hmm. And I literally met him.
Oh, so she's setting unrealistic expectations right now. Like, if you're on Hinge for a year, don't feel bad.
Oh yeah, no, like don't feel bad. Like, I feel like you should be on there as long as you want to be on there until you find what you need to find. Like, I just got lucky. I feel like I was one of the lucky ones that like.
But make sure you delete it after you find someone, like, actually get into a serious relationship with them, because that's rude.
Right, Hinge, the dating app designed to be deleted. And no, it's not a promo. I'm not getting paid, but you're single.
But Hinge, if you're interested.
Hinge, Tinder, if anybody uses that, Bumble, sponsor this. Anyway, right. I don't know. I just feel like dating apps in the beginning have gotten like a bad rap. They're like, oh, like if you use those, like you're desperate, like you're.
Me, I had those exact thoughts up until literally like a couple weeks ago.
Everyone's
I'm
like,
not kidding.
When everyone's like, how'd you meet your boyfriend? I'm like, online. But I'm like, take online is like you mean it. I don't know, like maybe like Facebook, Instagram, but like I will never say a dating app.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was that girl who, like, I remember my friend being like, oh, like, why don't you like make a Tinder or like whatever, and my response was always, absolutely not. The only point, I was like, the day that I decide to make an account on any of these dating apps is the day that I know that I've reached like level, like ground zero, like my absolute lowest, like my desperation is like at an all-time high. I'm probably old and like been single for way too long. Like, that's when I know, like, all right, my love life has gone to complete shit.
Because I get a bad rap.
Yeah. But needless to say, my opinion has definitely changed on that. Especially, I feel like with the pandemic, like, honestly, dating app is like pretty much the only way that you're gonna meet new people, because like people aren't really out mingling like how we used to.
Yeah, you should be home. Watching TV.
And even if you are out at like a restaurant or a bar, you need to stick with the party that you came with.
Right, wear a mask. Put your mask on right.
Right.
Over the nose.
But yeah, so I recently joined Hinge, so
how has Hinge been working out for you?
Horrible.
Yikes. Is it because of the men, or like the way that the platform works, or like what?
Okay, the platform is fine.
I love that we just plugged Hinge, but we just said it's terrible. Okay.
No, the platform is fine, but
it's the guys.
And
weirdos.
And like, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, are my expectations too high?
Probably.
But I don't think so. I don't think so, because like, these guys, they're just not.
What are you looking for? Tall, dark, and handsome?
No. Definitely tall, bro. The amount of 5'8" and under men that I've seen on this app,
I'm like saying, like, what does tallness have to do with anything? Why is tallness a personality trait in a man? Come on now.
Because if you're tall, you're probably at least 45% hot.
You could literally get a 5'6" king. Like, put some respect on my 5'8" and younger men. Like, please, like, it's literally something that they cannot control.
Yeah, but it's something I can avoid. Oh, so I'm going to.
Yo, you're the worst. What? Anyway, you know what?
No,
you know,
I'm
we all have our preferences, whatever.
As a 5'7" woman, I need, like, I'm not even, okay, like 5'6" and up is like definitely like my ideal.
5'6"?
Oh, sorry. 6 feet.
5'6".
Like 6 feet and up. Sorry. Cut that out. 6 feet and up is definitely like my ideal height for a guy that I am dating. But
how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Okay,
but if I find a guy that I'm like, damn, he's so hot, like, you know, he has a great personality, like, we really get along well and all that good stuff, like, I enjoy his company, and he happens to be like 5'10", I will take that. Oh, but if he's 5'8", no. That's 1 inch taller than me. Absolutely not. And 5'9" is like still too close for comfort. I can't do it. Whatever. I'm sorry. I'm really. And then like, it's also
You're
bad.
One of those girls.
It's bad too, because so like, I was in a relationship last year, and then I like was briefly talking to someone after that, and both of them were over 6 feet. So I'm like, I know these men exist. They're just not on these apps. Maybe because they're not desperate.
Because
I don't know what it is. Okay.
No. Okay. Maybe you need to get on like eHarmony or something if you like want like something serious.
FarmersOnly.com. That's what I'm about to go check out.
I just like, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't think you're desperate for going on the dating apps. I just feel
desperate. Maybe,
like, take to Instagram then and, like, just DM a guy.
See, that feels, like, thirsty, though. Like, when you, like...
Pick your poison.
When you go out of your way to find someone on social media...
At least you know they're real.
Like that seems, like, really... I mean, not always.
You're just a hater.
But, I mean, I'm not... It's just, like... I'm not saying that being on a dating app makes you desperate. But being on a dating app makes me feel like I'm desperate. Because it's like, damn, I've gone how many years now without feeling the need to join this. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, all right, like, if I don't do this, I don't know what's going to happen to my love life, you know? And like I said, I will say that a lot of it has to do with the fact that we are in this pandemic. Exactly. And I haven't been... And I'm out of school. I've done graduated. So I'm not meeting new... people within my age range on a regular basis.
Exactly. So it makes sense. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people are on dating apps. Like,
yeah, for sure. I'm sure there's like a very, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm sure there's a high percentage of people on dating apps.
I feel like also like social media has like, I don't know. I feel like it's just like rushed everybody into relationships, and it's like ruined relationships. Everyone's like comparing their relationship. They're like, oh, like, we met here, like, he asked me to be his girlfriend, like, at this fancy restaurant with, like, the most expensive piece of steak. Like, I don't know, it's just, like, stuff like that, and it's, like, sure, that's nice, but did you force him to do that? Like, did you tell the restaurant staff to do all that? Or, like, I feel like social media has killed relationships, and they've ruined them, and they've put unrealistic expectations into people's heads, and they've just given... I think they've contributed to the negative view of dating apps.
Would you say that you're the relationship type?
Yeah, probably. I feel like I've always been in one. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm like the most like relationship type, hate a relationship type girl. Would you say that you're a relationship type person, or?
I mean, in my heart. Yes, like, I am the kind of girl that would love to be in a relationship, but as of right now, I am not. I don't hate being single, but like I said, if it wasn't for this pandemic, it wouldn't feel that bad. But I really think that it's amplifying the fact that I'm single.
I feel that because everyone's in a relationship,
and I feel like there's really not much that I can do about being single right now.
Right, you can't
especially based on like the batch of men that I have access to at the moment. So,
and it's not like you can go out to like the bar or the club, or like even if like someone like were to come up to you, you're like, ew, get out of my face. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right, like why are you so close to me that I can actually hear you?
Right, like
right.
6 feet, but
exactly.
I don't know.
But what is it like? Okay, give us 2 pros and 2 cons of being in a relationship in your 20s.
Oh my god, in your 20s,
like based from from your own experience.
I know what you mean. I don't know. I feel like I don't have 2 pros or 2 cons. I just feel like it depends on like the person. Like personally, I feel like I found like my person. So, yeah, whatever. Cry, stop. I feel like that they're like great. Like you always have that someone to go to. Like there's someone who always gets you. Like, and you don't have to worry about like, I don't know, like talking to someone or like your friends like asking you like, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? Like, like your family, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? And it's just like you always have someone you can go to, someone that you know is there for you, not gonna like do you any wrong. And like I don't think there are any like cons. I would say like in my past relationships, the cons were I was wasting my time. I was like wasting my youth, right, on people that just weren't worth it. But
some things that you might have been forcing.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you say are like the keys to a good, healthy relationship?
100%.
A successful relationship.
100% communication. And I'm a communication major,
agree,
so
10 times over.
I just know like it's so, and that's my other thing with like this technological age and everything that we're in, like phones and like texting. It's like taken away like talking in person, or like people don't know how to communicate, and it's like annoying. But that's what I feel like works out in my relationship now. Like we actually both know how to like talk and communicate and like get our feelings across. Yeah,
communication is the root of all problems and solutions.
Literally. Like so sometimes if there's like a misunderstanding, it's like it'll come from text and it'll be like, oh, I thought you meant it that way, when no, I meant it that way, when that could have just been cleared up. Yeah. If you ask.
Texting leaves a lot of room for interpretation, so.
Literally. Because it's like, oh, like, you think you know the way someone talks, but they don't mean it that way.
And, oh, God forbid you put a period at the end of the text message. Now you're mad.
Right. Or, like, instead of typing out okay, you put the letters O and K.
It's like, what or you put just K.
Oh, my God, don't put K. Parents.
K period.
Parents, grandparents,
yo, my mom
elders, stop using K and stop using K, period. It makes me feel like you're mad at me even though you're not.
Don't use it casually because it's not cute.
It's not cute. What do you feel are pros and cons and your view on all that stuff?
Oh, God. Well, it's been
this is an open conversation.
It's been quite some time since your girl's been in a relationship, but if I could remember correctly. I think one of my favorite things about being in a relationship is, like, I'm the type of person, like, I don't like to be alone. Or, like, I don't like to feel alone, right? So just knowing that I have that person there, like, brings me some sort of comfort. And then also, like, like, you know, like, when you, like, have news or you have something that, like, you want to tell someone, like, I feel like they're immediately the first person that you think of. And, like, they're always, I would hope that they're always, like, welcoming to whatever you're wanting to share with them, whatever. Right. And then my second favorite thing about being in a relationship is that you learn so much about yourself when you're in a relationship, whether it be good or bad things. And you grow so much, you know, and especially like, once if the relationship ends and you reflect back on it and like you kind of look at the person that you were at the beginning of the relationship versus right then and there.
Yeah.
And it also forces the other person to grow and learn, and you learn about them too. And you maybe learn things that you didn't know about them.
Very true.
A con? I don't know. It's just, especially if you like go into a relationship after having been single for a long time, you kind of get comfortable in that single lifestyle where like your decisions are solely based off of like your wants, needs, desires, whatever. Yeah. But like now that you're in a relationship, you have someone else to consider when you're deciding certain things, and like you just know that like certain things that I'm doing while I'm single are not acceptable when I'm in a relationship. So you have to be like more conscious of those things. Yeah.
You have to think about like yourself and another person. Like what you do doesn't only reflect on you, it reflects on your partner.
Yeah. And then one thing I will say I hate about people that get into relationships, if you're this type of person, are the ones that like just get so consumed by the relationship that like they're no longer an individual, but they're like them and whoever they're with, you know? And that's so annoying to me because it's like just because you're dating someone doesn't mean you have to spend every waking moment with them. And I actually think it's pretty unhealthy, like when you become so dependent on someone else, because God forbid that person's no longer in your life one day, that recovery is going to be rough. It's going to be so rough. It's going to be worse than any hangover you've ever had. Okay? Oh, so, yeah, I just don't think it's worth it.
I think that's like my favorite thing about my relationship like now is like we're literally still two different people. Like we have two different friend groups. Like we can still...
That's what I... Like, that's perfect.
Right. Like we have trust for each other, and it's just like it's a healthy relationship. Like I've been in relationships where it's like, oh, give me your location. Where are you going? Like call me when you get here. Like... What? Like, I hate that. Like, at that point, I'm like, no, like, this is ending. Goodbye. I don't need this. I'm a very independent person in the first place. So it's, like, it's so easy for me to, like, I'll be fine with you. I'll be fine without you. Like, and if you push me to be without you, goodbye. Good riddance. Like, have a great life.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's so key that, like, you, like, when you're in a relationship, you're still individuals at the same time. It's, like you come together as one, but you're still two separate entities. And then also going off of like what you're saying about like trust and all that. If you don't have trust, you don't have anything. Right. Like if you can't trust the person that you're with, then you really shouldn't be with them. Or you should go to counseling or something. Because like you being all crazy and controlling is not going to stop them from doing whatever they so desire, you know? And you're only going to drive yourself crazy by, like, trying to track every single movement and action that they make.
And, like, I understand, like, having, like, trust issues, okay, from, like, past relationships, but it's not healthy to bring that past, like, trauma into your new relationship, and then you project that on your partner, and then you kind of, like, mess your partner up in the future, because then, say, like, you guys break up or whatever, then they take that to their next relationship, and they might expect their partner to give them their passwords or share their location, and if that's not how they are, they're gonna think that their partner's being sneaky when that's just not how it is at all. Like, I don't think you should have the passwords to your partner's Instagram or like Twitter or anything. Like, why do you need that? Right. Like, if you can't trust your partner, then you shouldn't be with them. Like, there's no need
110,000%
to have their passwords. Like, maybe like if I need you to log in to post something, whatever, I'll give you my password.
You shouldn't have it memorized.
Right.
Like, I should still kind of have to tell you every time.
Or like I hate when I see like stories and girls are like, he was sleeping and I grabbed his phone and I saw that he was cheating. Okay, so you just made yourself upset. Like,
right. Like, don't go looking for something you don't want to find.
But first off, and the fact that you went to go look, you already knew something was up and you should have just ended it there. Because now you hurt yourself. You're going to be petty. It's just... It spirals.
Question.
Answer.
Do you believe that there are men out there who are 100% faithful?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Well, see, this is all it's subjective. What are we talking about? Like, are you talking about no looking? Like, no liking Instagram pictures? Like, no talking to other women?
No doing things that if their girlfriend found out, she would not be happy. And you should know what those things are as her boyfriend.
Exactly, yeah. I think,
so do you think there's guys that, like, just, like, really don't... No temptation, nothing?
Yes, I do.
I don't know. The verdict's still out for me.
The verdict's still out. No, I mean, like, honestly, like, I do. I feel like they're, like, far and few. But I feel like there are guys out there. It's the same thing for women. Like, women go out there and do things that their boyfriends probably don't like, but no one's going to question a woman. So, I think it's the same thing.
I think.
What do you think?
I think women and men are very different when it comes to relationships. Like, obviously, there's, like, those outliers, whatever, like, the ones that don't fall within the majority. But I feel like, in general, like, women are much more loyal by nature than men. And also, it really goes back to, like, the male species as a whole. Like, they were created to
procreate and then move on.
Yeah, like they
literally
weren't meant to be monogamous creatures. So it's not to say, and I'm not giving men a pass or like any type of excuse as to why they cheat and why they do like what they do, but I'm just saying like it makes sense why men are typically the less faithful ones.
I guess I can agree.
Yeah.
Someone's been hurt. No, I'm just kidding.
Not recently, but I have been in the past. Yeah, for sure. I feel like if you haven't been, then
you're not gonna. But see, like I have been, but that was like my first relationship when I was in high school.
You were young.
Literally got cheated on twice. You wanna know how I found out? Wow, I'm really exposing my life to you guys right now, but that's okay because. I'm here to share my life experiences to let you guys know that you're not alone. But anyway.
Yeah, and she's admitting it.
Right. So, literally got cheated on twice. This is the funniest. I think it's funny now. I think it's comical.
Isn't that such a good feeling? Like when you reach that place where you can now talk about something and laugh about it. And like at one point you were crying over it.
Exactly.
That's like the best feeling in the world to me.
I think, wow. Like, thinking about this, I'm like, actually, wow. You guys are like, what? Anyway, okay. So, I was, like, texting him, and I was like, why can't we hang out? Like, why can't you drive 30 minutes so we can hang out? Whatever. He always said, like, driving me was a problem. I don't know, whatever.
30 minutes. That's
and then, I get a DM from one of his exes on Instagram. And she's like, he's hanging out with this girl, like, whatever. Sends me, like, videos, screenshots of the girl. I go on Instagram, and I have the girl blocked, which means he went on my phone and blocked her. Yeah.
Oh.
So he went on my phone, blocked her on, like, everything, and then he had, like, no, it was her story that she posted it on. So the ex sends me all of this, and then I text him, and then he, like, tells me whatever.
Yo, shout out to his ex-girlfriend.
But, like, also not, because then she's also another factor.
Oh.
Why are you still talking to your ex-girlfriend?
Oh, is that how she found out? Is that how she knew because of him?
See, like, I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, why did she have that girl on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Because...
Like, I mean, are they all part of, like, the same circle?
No. He was in the military. So, the one ex messaged me from Indiana. The other girl's in Maryland.
Oh, God.
Right. And I'm like, oh, so you could drive 3 hours, but 30 minutes wasn't enough?
Yo,
whatever.
That cuts deep.
Right. So...
I know.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, I'm in a love square.
Ugly.
And I was like, ew. Well, I'm young and, like, immature, so, like, at first I was like, oh, it's okay, whatever. And then the second time, I was like, actually, what am I doing with myself? But, yeah, I was a part of a love triangle, and I think it's funny. So whenever I get DMs on Instagram from females, I get really, 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 like, it's like a trigger.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Because I'm like, oh, my God.
Like here we go again. Say? Right.
And it's actually funny because it happened in my relationship after that. A girl messaged me, and she said that he was, like, she just said that he was, like, saying stuff and whatever, and I was like...
I thought this stuff only happened in, like, movies.
No, like, no, my life should be a movie. Like, where are the cameras? I need a camera crew following me. But now I'm actually in a healthy relationship. No DMs, no messages, no nothing. It's crazy.
I actually have a breakup story that can top that. Talk about exposing ourselves. So, my last relationship... the way that it ended, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. But
yeah, I cut out some things too.
Yeah, this is how it ended. And let me say this: leading up to this, I promise you, you can ask my friends. No red flags, not even yellow flags. Like
not even yellow.
Everything was smooth sailing. Like if like I really thought like I was about to be with him for at least like a few years, you know. But so it was right when like the lockdown started, right? And I'm in my house and I'm feeling some type of way. Like it's like I'm having some type of like
women have this intuition, by the way, so if you're cheating, we know.
No, like,
we feel it in our gut.
I'm so serious, and I'm like what is wrong? Like what is off in the universe right now? Like what is going on? I need to find the source and like fix it because I don't feel good right now. And I was like trying to like I was like so tempted to reach out to him, but I was like, he's gonna think I'm crazy because I don't have anything to say. Like I just have to say like something feels off, like what's going on. And so I'm like sitting there like trying to convince myself like, no, don't do it. Like he's gonna think you're crazy. Like you need to come up with a little bit more than just like something feels off. And I was like, honestly, like it might just be like a side effect of like, you know, me being isolated by myself. Like you know, maybe I'm just feeling extra lonely and needing more attention than usual. So then I pick up my phone and I go on Snapchat just because. And I scroll over to where all the stories are listed. And you know how it has like the little preview?
Yeah. And
it was his name underneath the little preview. And the preview was a girl's face.
That's crazy.
And I'm literally, before I even click on the story,
you're preparing yourself?
No. I'm like, is Snapchat glitching? Oh. Like, I'm like, there's no way that belongs with his name. Like, this has to be someone else's story because who is that?
Right.
Who is that? Right? So, finally, I work up the courage to actually click on it.
No.
Right? And it's a full-blown selfie. It says, uploaded from camera roll. So that means she sent it to him. Blase, blase. And, like, the caption or whatever was, like, a heart emoji with a butterfly.
Did he forget?
And so I took a screenshot because I was like, in case he tries to deny, delete it, whatever. And at this point, I'm literally like hyperventilating. Like I'm having a panic attack because I'm like in disbelief that what I just saw is what I just saw. And I was like, it's not like it was a birthday post. And mind you, it was a selfie of her. You know what I mean? It's not even like it was like them together, like taking a picture or anything like that. It was just her. And then like the emojis just really took it up a notch.
Right.
You know? And I'm like, so this clearly isn't like his cousin or like any family member or anything like that. So the crazy in me is like, I should hop in my car right now and just drive to his house and just spaz on him. But I was like, he lives too far. By the time I get there, my anger will have like leveled
You'll be
down.
like, what am I doing?
Right. I will have maybe come to my senses a little too much. And he won't like, you know, really feel how I'm feeling right in this moment. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to FaceTime him. Well, actually, before I decided to do that, I was like blowing up all my friends' phones and nobody was answering.
That's the worst.
Like,
That's the worst.
Like, I need someone to help me.
Because you want someone to validate you're crazy. Like,
because I'm like, am I losing my mind? Or is this really happening? So
you should have texted me. I'm always on my phone.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind for next time. Hopefully there won't be a next time.
Right.
But, yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm going to just FaceTime him. So I FaceTimed him. He answered. And I was like, I didn't even have my face in the camera because I didn't want him to see that I was already worked up.
Right.
So I was like, we need to talk. And he was like, about what? I was like, do not play stupid with me right now. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And he goes, oh, the picture?
Did he
it's funny how he knew exactly what I was talking about.
Right.
And then he goes, yeah, I was meaning to talk to you about that. Huh?
So you posted
At what point? Because that conversation should have happened before you posted that. So long story short, find out that it's his ex-girlfriend that he apparently has had feelings for and never got over because it was the first girl he ever took seriously, blase, all that bull crap. And she reached out to him on New Year's, like, wishing him Happy New Year. And then, like, from there, they were just kind of, like, going through, like, you know, just, like, talking out, like, all their problems that they had. And, like, like, you know, accepting their faults and whatever.
Whatever.
And then he said that once that conversation was over, like, they would, like, check in with one another, like, ever so often. And I was like, oh, so at what point were you going to inform me that you were in communication with your ex-girlfriend? Your most recent ex-girlfriend. Okay. So, yeah. And so he was like, yeah, like, we just decided that, like, we want to, like, give things another try. Oh, so at what point was I going to be a part of this decision?
Right.
And, yeah.
I can't see. Bro, like, if you are at the point where, like, you're going to cheat or you're considering going back to someone else, just end the relationship.
Right.
Like,
don't get the other person's feelings involved in your mess.
Because, like, I just feel like getting cheated on is, like, so much worse than having your relationship end and then they're with someone else, like, the next week. I mean, obviously that's gonna hurt, too, and, like, obviously you can put two and two together. They've been talking to the person, but, like, at least it wasn't, like, while we're together, like, you're not disrespecting me.
No, that's
in that
what
way.
it really... I think that's what really bothered me the most. I felt
Right.
like blatant disrespect. Like, he had zero regard for me, my feelings, anything. And, like, when I tell you, like, that heartbreak, it took me weeks to get over that. Like, well, not even get over, but, like, move forward from it.
Right.
It was rough. I was in a rough place. And, like, to top it all off, we were in the pandemic and all that. So
right, so you can't go out, distract yourself.
I was forced to face my feelings, okay?
Yo.
There was no escaping. Like,
Yo.
my biggest escape was having some wine. I was drinking wine, like, literally, it was unhealthy. But anyways.
We're in a good place now. We're healthy now. We don't need... question, because I think it's important. What was his zodiac sign?
He was a Capricorn, and I like Capricorn.
Cannot.
I really do like Capricorns, but I'm also an Earth sign, so we're compatible.
All of my faulty relationships have been with Pisces men, which...
Well, those are water signs, and Pisces men are
the worst.
The worst. The worst.
So,
don't do it.
Conceited.
Don't
only
do
care
it.
about themselves.
Manipulative.
I cannot
don't
stand
do
Pisces
it.
men.
If I could give you one advice, don't do it. And I'm sorry if you don't believe in zodiacs or whatever.
Right.
But
we do. This is our opinion.
I'm a strong we are strong believers. I mean, and when we talk about zodiacs, we're not talking about horoscopes. Like, that's a bunch of BS that people just do to, like, make money off of you. But
the alignment, like, with the stars.
Yes, that stuff. Like, obviously, like, they always say, like, don't read too deeply into it. Yeah. But there are definitely things that make sense. Like, it adds up somewhere.
I'm just going off of my experience. And I personally feel like there's a difference between, like men and women. Like, Pisces men are different than Pisces women.
Mm-hmm. And also, another thing that I've been noticing, too, it's, like, it matters which month you were born into. Like, if you were, like, a February Pisces versus a March Pisces.
Yes, March Pisces, absolutely not.
Yes.
Avoid them.
That's what I've heard. And February Pisces are fine. It is so funny because
it's March Pisces. Avoid them at all costs.
Because I have a really good friend from high school who he is a Pisces man, and I have nothing but high things to say about him. But then I have a friend who has an ex-boyfriend who is a March Pisces, and he was an absolute psychopath. Like, I would not ever want to even be friends with this guy.
Literally, it's
and then
Pisces, like, and Virgos. There's only one Virgo I like. There's only one Virgo I like.
Oh, man. See, I personally really don't have anything negative to say about any of the earth signs because, like, I am one. And so, like, we naturally, like, get along, you know.
Am I a fire sign?
Yeah. You're a Leo, right?
No, I'm a Gemini.
You're an air sign. Sorry, I was thinking about Lena. But yeah, you're a Gemini.
I love Leos. Leos are, like, my favorite. I love them.
They're, like, so cocky.
Well, Geminis and Leos are compatible. That's why. I love Leos.
See?
My wonderful boyfriend is a Scorpio, so I don't really know how that works out.
That's interesting.
I think, like, moon signs and all that stuff matters, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Honestly, the last guy that I was talking to, I was kind of nervous to ask him what time he was born because I thought he was going to be like... I thought he was going to be like, okay, this bitch is crazy. But he actually took to it very well. And then, like, I was like, okay, I asked for his birth time, and I was like... He's like, oh, are you about to look up my birth chart? And I was like, for sure. He's like, all right, let me know if you find anything interesting. And I was like, will do.
In the past, like, I hate when guys are like... They're like, zodiacs don't mean anything. And I'm like, because you live up to your zodiac sign. That's why you think they don't mean anything. Because
you don't want to accept it.
You're a full-on Pisces, and you know it. That's why.
You don't want to accept it.
I'm not into Zodiac. Because you know your Zodiac sucks.
You hate who you are.
I mean, everyone hates Geminis for some odd reason. We get a bad rap.
It's not an odd reason.
What?
It's Gemini men for me. I don't mind the women, but the men.
Yeah, I can never talk.
I've made wonderful friendships with Gemini women, like
me.
Yeah, like Dominique. And then also, like, I remember this girl I used to work with, like, we clicked really well, and she was Gemini. My last check is a Gemini. I love her to death. Like, you know, like, it's just... It's the
really
men
depends.
for me.
It's the men.
Because, like, and also, like, if you guys need, like, some sort of, like, perspective on, like, what a Gemini man is like, just think about Kanye West. Kanye West is the perfect example.
Think about Kanye West. Think about Donald Trump.
Perfect examples of Gemini
Think about
men.
Scott Disick.
Gemini men.
That's all you need to know.
Crazy, two-faced, all that.
Hey, I don't think we're two-faced. I just think we see both sides of every equation. We adapt to our surroundings, and that makes us look two-faced, but we're not two-faced.
Okay. Adapting to your surroundings and contradicting yourself are two very different things. But okay, if you say so. Okay, one last like subcategory that I want to like visit a little bit is like the talking phase and like just like the new era of dating and like all the terminology that comes along with it, and the new one that thanks to Jada Smith, what is it?
Entanglement.
Yes.
Oh my god! Just say you were cheating. Just say you were cheating.
But yeah,
with a little boy, not all these predators in Hollywood. But anyway.
Right.
Anyway, that's a topic for.
There was did you hear about that scandal with T.I. and his wife?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen a lot of TikToks.
That got shut down real quick though.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear about that at all.
Right.
Anywho.
But yeah, the talking stage. What comes to mind when you hear the talking?
I never want to go through it again.
Yeah, it's honestly exhausting. It's so exhausting.
It's annoying. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Where are you from? Where'd you go to school? It's really
like having to like start back at like ground zero with another person just for it to potentially end up in the same place that the last one did, and it just all feels like a huge waste of time. And also, I think something that I've learned from my talking stages is that like putting your intentions out in the open, like from the jump, is so key, because if you don't do that and you are here for two different reasons, right, then regardless of what happens in the end, it's gonna feel like a waste of time.
Someone's gonna get hurt too. Yeah,
because you're just gonna be like, oh wait, what? So
it goes back to communication. Like, you just have to communicate what you're feeling, and if those like feelings change, okay, then communicate that. Like, not everything's gonna work out, but I just think like, I don't know, talking stages are stupid. And I feel like because of like social media and all these dating apps and everything, like it's always like, oh, like you have to talk and then you have to date. Like, I don't know, people just can't live their lives anymore.
So when you're talking to someone, do you have the expectation that you're the only person they're talking to, or like do you think it's okay for people to talk to more than one person at a time?
I think it's okay for people to talk to more than one person at a time if you're like in that stage. Like, I feel like people just like casually date, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not a thing anymore. Everyone wants like the perfect relationship, so they're trying to put perfect qualities into people, so they're like, oh, you can only talk to me, whatever. But again, if you establish that, because if one person thinks, oh, we're only talking to each other, and they're like, no, we're both talking to people, we're both casually talking, that's gonna cause an issue from the beginning. And then one person's gonna seem crazy because they're upset that, like, it's.
And then the other person's like, what is the problem?
Right.
Like, I thought we were chilling.
I don't have an issue with it. I also really don't care. I'm not doing that ever again. So,
shout out to you.
Do whatever you want to do.
But yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I don't know. It's just like, how do I feel about talking stage? I think another thing too, it's like the talking stage should not go on for like
6 months.
Yeah.
You're dating.
Like once, like I feel like talking stages should last max 3-4 months. If you're still talking after that, just dead it.
Right.
Like, because the relationship's not going
it's obviously
anywhere.
not going anywhere.
It's going to stay wherever it is at. Because you know what it is? It's whether it be you or the other person, you're comfortable with where you're at. So there's no desire to, like, it's like, oh, like, everything's fine and dandy how we are. Like, what's the point of putting a label on it and doing this? Like, you, like, don't let anybody get too comfortable, because when you do, then, like I said, they're not going to have any desire to pursue anything further with you. Because you're giving them... So true. And that's the thing, like, that's the thing. I feel like especially women are so guilty of giving men boyfriend privileges when they're not their boyfriends. Like, you are doing yourself a disservice by doing that, because you're giving them everything that you have to offer, and they have to do the bare minimum.
Literally the bare... Like, wow, that's literally, like... I don't know. I just feel like girls always do that because they want to, like... I don't know.
Because they want to, like, impress him and, like, make him feel like, oh, yeah, she's the one. But, like... If you do all that, then he's like, then he's not even thinking like, okay, how can I get more out of this relationship? Because he got everything already.
And then it's gonna be like, oh, I just thought we were like friends.
Yeah.
So when you find out he's talking to someone else, oh, I just thought we were like good friends. Like.
And then you're like.
Crying in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Calling your friends, crying about this guy.
That's funny. Yo, okay. So. Question. Random. But when you get into a relationship, like, do you think like dating to marry, or are you just like dating?
At this age?
Sure, yeah.
Dating to marry. Like, for sure. I have no desire to date a man at this time in my life that I do not see a future with. Like, even though it may not be the case, just because I date someone right now doesn't mean I'm going to marry them, but that is the hope. And that is the goal, the end goal. And if I see a quality in you that I'm like, oh yeah, I would never want my husband to be that way, then we're not going to date. Because it's a waste of my time.
Right. I view it like the same way. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, like, we're definitely going to get married, but it's like, why would you date someone? Because the alternative is you're going to break up. Right. So why would you date someone and be like, oh, I know we're going to break up? You're wasting everyone's time. Exactly. And I remember like, I think in like high school or whatever, like the few relationships that came out of high school, it was always like, oh, like, are you dating to marry? It's like, no, I know we're going to break up when we're going to college. Okay, so break up now. Like, why? What are you wasting time for? Like,
exactly. Like, you might as well get to the point. Get to the punch
like,
already.
That's the hope. That's the end goal. For me, I know not everybody wants marriage and all that stuff, but that's like the end goal for me. It's like, why wouldn't I expect that? I don't know.
When do you hope to get married? Like, what's, like, if you could pinpoint the age that you get married, what would it be?
See, I had my whole timeline figured out. It used to be, like, married between, like, 24 and 27, and then have kids, like, 27, like, between, like, 27 and 32. But I'm 21 now, which means I have to get engaged soon, because I don't expect to get engaged and then have the wedding the next day. Mm-hmm. But it's also, like, I'm also at the point where, like, everything can happen when it happens. There's no perfect age. Like, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen, and I'll be happy when that happens, whenever that is. And I'm just, like, gonna live life. Like, even though I'm in the mindset to date to marry, like, I'm gonna live in the now and, like, do whatever is happening now.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, oh my god. Speaking of that. So, I absolutely hate when people base their relationships off of hypothetical situations, right? Like, because, like you said, I'm very much a person, like, I like to live in the now. I like to deal with the now. I like to think about the now, right? For the most part. Obviously, like, there's a little bit of, like, futuristic thoughts. But, like, so, like, what I'm trying to get at here is, like, I know people who would stop themselves from pursuing a relationship with someone at the moment because they know that at some point, it's not even a definite, at some point down the line, they're going to be moving. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, first of all, that's not guaranteed. Like, what if you end up, for whatever reason, staying where you are? Or, like, what if you guys fall so madly in love that you decide to up and move together and, exactly. You know, like, start a life together somewhere else.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's, like, almost a waste. Like, especially if you feel, like, a connection with someone, like, give it a shot. Try it out. Like, it's not, you know, obviously, like, nothing's ever guaranteed. So, like, even if you don't move, like, you still might break up, you know? But, exactly. Like, it's still worth the try, especially if you feel strongly about this person. So, and I just hate when people are like, oh, like, I can't date them because, like, I'm gonna be, like, living here in, like, by the summer. And then the summer comes and guess where you at?
You're still in the same place. Like, you never know where life is going to take you. Mm-hmm. Just live in the now.
And like I said, I'm the type of person, like, if that situation were to ever come up, like, let's say if I was in a long distance relationship with someone, like I started talking to someone and we're long distance, right? And then like our relationship gradually gets more serious. I'm the type of person where I would start thinking like, okay, maybe we should figure out some type of situation where like we can live together somehow. Cause like that's just like how I am.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm not the type that like, oh, like I feel like because we're long distance and like things are starting to get serious, we should just end it here.
Right.
No.
But to each their own, whatever works out for your relationship, I guess. I don't know.
That actually kind of reminds me, if you guys haven't seen it yet, the new To All the Boys I Love, Always and Forever is released on Netflix.
I need to watch that.
It was so good. Oh my god. I love them
You
so
like
much.
those?
What?
You like those series?
Yes. Oh my god. I am a sucker.
False expectation of love.
I'm a sucker for a good chick flick. I love romance. I love romantic comedy.
False expectation
of
of love.
hopeless romantic. But no, the second one was like okay. The first one was really good, and I think the third one's good.
See, no. Like, I mean, I like them. They're okay. You know, I did watch it more than once, but like, I don't know if I'd watch it again.
But yeah, the third one is like, it goes into like long distance relationships and stuff, so that's why I thought about it.
Okay. Maybe I'll check it out. You guys check it out too.
It's cute.
Do you like the kissing booth ones?
No.
Good.
No, those are trash.
Those are terrible and
those
terrible expectation of love, bro.
Those are bad. But To All the Boys I Love, that's my shit.
Nice.
So
wow.
And to all the boys I've loved, I don't love you anymore. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
feel
don't
like...
know that I like really loved anyone. I guess not in love, but like I love you.
I love you. Hey, I love you. Wow, it was kind of interesting because like we're in two different like I'm in a relationship and you're not, so it's kind of interesting
singles.
To hear your points. Yeah, on Hinge, it's not working. So.
Yeah.
If any of you eligible bachelorettes out there, bachelors. Could you imagine someone was like, I heard Dominique's podcast.
I didn't know you were interested in women.
That's funny.
Because I'm interested in you.
That's funny. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I feel like it was a good one. We got our thoughts out, topics out.
I definitely had to bite my tongue on some things. I didn't want to overshare.
Right, we're not celebrities. You guys can't be that deep into our lives. But
this is definitely one of seriously one of my favorite topics to talk about because I just feel like there's just so much
to talk about.
Yeah, and like a lot of things that are relatable to like just hearing from other people's experiences. Like, oh my god, I've been there before, kind of thing. So
exactly.
And I feel like there's always something to learn within this umbrella.
For sure. So. It's the dating game of life. But yeah. We might talk about this topic again. I feel like there's so much more we could say.
Yeah, we could go into other types of relationships too, not just like romantic ones, but like friendships. Friendship breakups are real, so. Very real. That's a good one. You know what? That's a good one. But as always, thank you, Nicole, for being here. You are welcome. If you guys want to stay up to date with me and my podcast, you can follow me on Come On Admit It Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I need to start posting on TikTok, but I do have a TikTok now. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. I will be posting more frequently now that I have my life and school and a little bit more under control. But yeah, thank you so much for listening.